is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Welcome to the show, the last one of 2020. Adios, mofo.
Let's
2020.
go.
We will see you later. Last time we will be on the air together, fellas. And I hate to say it, but it's going to be without Kurt because Kurt is having some damage to his water heater, and apparently they just cranked up a power saw right outside of his door. We encouraged him to come on the show anyway because what is more 2020 and hanging with the boys than a power saw going off? And at least you wouldn't be able to hear the dogs if he was on the show today. So we got a new bit we're going to do on the show. We're going to take a live look at the Tostitos Plaza at Ford Center weather cam. It is 39 degrees and raining today. What bowl game is that they have on out there, Chris Beam? Got some bowl game out there on the plaza. It looks nice. It's very, very dreary. There's rain droplets on the camera, but yeah, so there you go. That's what it looks like here at the Star in Frisco. So, guys, we've got our Miller Lite seasonal Christmas sweaters on. We're warm. We're toasty. You guys look good. We all match. I actually have the right one on today. There we go. So how are y'all feeling? You look good. I'm sure you smell good. How you feeling?
Hey, all I want to say, man, is tell Kurt to get on the show, regardless of the noise, man. Tell him to get on the show. At least he'll be active and a part of the show, regardless. The dogs brought zest to the show because he wasn't going to talk. You know? So
Hey,
when there's something making noise outside, at least we get something from Kurt.
dude, I encouraged him to do it, but he didn't want to do it, so we'll let it be. We'll let sleeping dogs lie. How about that?
Hold on. Don't worry. Jess will take up all this talk time.
If you listen, at least you going out of 2020 telling the truth, because we should for sure know if there is some talk time available, your boy Jay Holly will take it up. I am not shy about that.
We definitely know that, and I am in studio today because we are doing our last player interview of the season on the show. We have Dalton Schultz later this afternoon. It's kind of a weird situation.
Fantasy owners, let me finish it. Fantasy owners, if you have Dalton Schultz,
Start
play him this weekend.
Don't play him.
There's a curse. There is the Hanging with the Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Interview curse. Once they interview with us,
You got to let him sit a
their
game.
game go downhill.
You got to let him sit a game. Michael Gallup got hurt right after we did. He came back. But who else have we had? Antoine Woods out for the year.
Antoine Woods. We had Leighton Vander Esch.
Injured.
He didn't have a great game. He got injured. So
Yep.
Hey.
So Dalton, maybe you can break the curse. It's a weird week because we're doing the interview, and normally we would put it in the show, but if we get in Sunday, it's going to be weird putting it in the show because we're going to be talking.
When we get in Sunday,
When we get in Sunday, it's going to be weird putting it in the show because we're going to want to talk all about playoffs, how they got in, how great this team is. They're winning the Super Bowl, the road to the Super Bowl, all that good stuff. If they don't get in, we will have one show next week, and that will be it. And we have to cram into 45 minutes everything about the season. So we can't put it in the show, so we're just going to do it as a one-off interview. So I'll interview him today after this show, and that'll be, if you go check out the website and social media, we'll just put it directly up as a little 15-minute interview. So since Nate didn't want to come in the studio with me today, I'm really surprised by that. That's an extra $10.
Prior obligations to Mickey Spagnola.
Oh, okay. All right.
Mickey called
Got
me yesterday,
sold out
so
for
I
Mickey.
already. As soon as I saw that where you say come into the studio, you know that's me and your thing. I'm like, wow, Mick would tamper with us. It should be a fine for Mick for tampering.
So we will take care of that, Nate. So sorry it was such a late notice. on our part. So, all right, fellas,
Yeah,
let's
man.
get into it. Lots to talk about. It all comes down to Sunday. We play. What time's our game? 3 o'clock is our game. We play 3 o'clock. We play
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock.
Yeah, we got the early game.
You're in the right stadium, different time.
Okay, my bad. I got half of it right. Play the Giants in New York, 12 o'clock, and then Eagles, Washington, not the R word, Nate, Washington, play the night game. So they will land the plane here, and the game will probably already be going on. So everyone will be scrambling to find out the score and to get somewhere to go watch the game. And then we will find out if these Dallas Cowboys will indeed host a home playoff game with a losing record, or if they can just, build on to concentrate on next year and just move on. So, what do you guys think is going to happen? We'll give predictions later on, but let's hold that till later on. I'll wait till the end of the show. Where do you want to take this without Kurt? I feel lost. What do you guys want to talk about? Do we just want to end the show now?
About it all, man.
Yeah, let's talk about that. These New York Giants are where we were. 3 weeks ago? A mere 3 weeks ago, where it seemed like nothing can go right. They can't get any turnovers. We didn't have problems getting into scoring points. It's just the time that we were scoring the points were very late. They're in that slump now. They can't get any turnovers. They're trying to generate some offense. Their defense, is their better half, whereas our offense was our better half going through that time, man. Just when I look at them, man, if we just come out there, man, and go at these cats with everything we got in that first half, this could be a fairly not easy game for the Cowboys. We don't have that type of talent, but this shouldn't be a hard thing to nail a coffin shut, man, from what I've seen on film.
The Cowboys had to come out and just play. Just come out and play. Again, it has been set up for you to come out here and have success. Over the last 4 games, you're going to play teams that are as bad or worse than you are, and the Giants is no different. But you can't give the Giants any confidence. You can't give them any opportunities other than what they're normally going to have. What I mean by that is you can't give them extra possessions by turning the football over, right? The fumbling Zeke can't come back. Andy Dalton can't be getting thrown interceptions and having strip sack fumbles. You can't have plays in the special teams game where you're not producing what you're supposed to be doing. And for the Giants, you can't give them momentum. You can't give them a punt return or a kick return. You can't give them those little things that can give a team momentum or give a team confidence that'll make it way harder for you to win a football game. You have to go in and leave no doubt early on. Like, listen, guys, we are bad, but you're worse than us. And let's just put our foot on their throats and go out there and play solid and sound football. That's what the Cowboys have to do. If they're going to start Daniel Jones is hobbled. He doesn't have the ability that he had earlier in the year where he was able to get the ball and run and make plays down the field with his legs. So keep him in the pocket. Make them pass from the pocket. They don't, there's no Odell Beckhams out there. They got good receivers. They don't have great receivers. We just can't give them confidence. We can't lose the game. We can't give them the chance to beat us. We have to go out there and just play sound football and let the cards fall where they may.
Jesse, I like what you presented there, and I'm glad that we're talking to our listeners and to our multiple millions and millions of fans that we're talking to. But I would not like for you to go give this same speech to the team and say, you're bad, but they're badder than you are. You stop with that, man. You crushing old Nuke, man. This team is on the come. You agree with me, Shannon? Did you? That was a great motivational speech.
Until
but you can't say that.
I mean, you can say it and it's not. It's not. I mean, it's true. I mean, you're the truth. You're supposed to speak the truth. He's the gospel. He's supposed to bend the truth a little bit. Jesse, to your point.
No. He's the gospel. He's the truth. I'm just the guy who critiques these speeches, saying what I can take from these speeches. But I couldn't take these speeches to the locker room for the Cowboys. They'd be like, wow, man, no matter how good we play, Jesse, call us sorry.
We live in the world of 2020. Edit it out. Edit it out.
I mean, you're right. These are two bad teams. You know, you're playing to be the best of the bad, right?
You got Shannon feeding into it.
No, it's the truth. It is the truth. But my question to you guys is, if you just straight up talent and everything is equal, turnovers are equal, play is equal, all the things that can tip a game.
Cowboys are better.
Cowboys are a better team, right? If you just line up talent and say offensive, defensively.
Everything Jesse said is true. If we have no turnovers, they have no turnovers. Our receivers should take them to a new level. Our receivers should take them to a new level. Now, our offensive line is struggle because they got some horses up there. Mm-hmm. And no matter what the scheme is, you got to be able to move those horses that they got, you know. And so as long as they hold water and keep Andy upright and give him a chance, man, it's just I'll put our receivers against anybody, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, they are just that nice, especially when you get number 19 going.
Get him going early. Got to get him going out of the gate.
Yes.
What do you think is so the two teams are evenly matched? Obviously, whoever wins the turnover battle is going to have a huge advantage. What do you think the other things are that we should look for that can tip the scales when you have, you know, the Cowboys have a little bit of an edge as far as talent? What are some other things that can tip the special teams, obviously, right?
I believe the one thing that I know if we won't lose, and I feel confident with, if we have time of possession and red zone opportunities, don't squander them, there's no way they should be able to beat us. I mean, I'm believing in Andy Dalton the way it was during the offseason for us. I got that kind of belief in him, man.
So you're back.
I promise you, I was the worst guy in the world when he got hurt and the team was scrambling. I was his worst enemy. But this dude is what we thought when they got him during the offseason, man. A nice quarterback.
What do you think, Jess? You're too quiet today, man. I don't like this. I don't like this show.
Nate,
I don't like this. I need you to bring the energy. This is our Friday, Jesse. This is our Friday. I need you to be a little more excited. You seem distracted.
Okay, so here's the thing. I think Nate hit it on the head when he said red zone. The Cowboys have to capitalize in the red zone. When you get in the red zone, score touchdowns. Field goals might not get it for you. You got it. And if you're going to win this game and then try to get yourselves in the playoff with the Washington loss later on that evening, you want to start revving up your red zone offense. You want to start getting used to being in the red zone and coming away with touchdowns. The Cowboys haven't been efficient this year in the red zone, which I think will hurt you when you have to play the good teams, because you're not going to be able to get away with empty possessions and empty trips to the red zone playing other good teams who score, who hold the ball, have time of possession, don't turn the ball over, and have good offenses and good defenses. So the Cowboys have to get in the red zone, and they really have to go out there and score touchdowns. Score touchdowns and convert third downs. Don't put yourself in third and longs, where now, to Nate's point like earlier, the Giants have a really good defensive front. Don't let them have to pin their ears back and just come after you because it's 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 9 and 3rd and 11. Convert third downs, sustain drives, time of possession, but when you get in the red zone, it is so imperative that you walk away with touchdowns.
All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, let's talk a little more Cowboys, Giants, and let's talk about Washington, and let's talk about the weather conditions. It's supposed to be nasty up there. I want to know what you guys think. When the weather is nasty, who does that benefit more? Does that benefit the offense, defense, a certain position group? And then Coach McCarthy has had a lot of success in the last game of the season. We'll get into that. Does that matter? Does that experience matter? Or is with him being with a new team, does it kind of wipe all that clean? Let's talk about all of that, and we will get into more stuff when we come back. Kurtless. We miss you, Kurt. On Hangin' with the Boys.
Is your family a Cowboys family? Have you taken holiday photos at the Star? Was your wedding theme blue and silver? Have you convinced your kids them is spelled with a D? If so, every game day feels like a vacation to you, so treat it like one. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com. proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Just like all of you, we at SeatGeek can't wait until we're back in the stands at full strength cheering on the Cowboys and singing along to our favorite songs again. We're using this time to make discovering, buying, and selling tickets to events in Dallas easier. Plus, every ticket purchased on SeatGeek is protected by our buyer guarantee, which means you'll get your money back or better if your event is canceled. Guaranteed. Download the SeatGeek app today, and when the time is right, let's go. SeatGeek.
Grab some OtterBox gear and get ready for Hanging with the Boys. From rugged venture coolers to tough as nails elevation tumblers, we've got what you need to keep your game day drinks frosty and your football feast ice cold. And with cases, screen protectors, and power accessories, you can defend your phone and stay connected to every play. Gear up at OtterBox.com and amp up the fun of every Cowboys game. That's OtterBox.com.
Dear, it's 1908. Don't you think we should get electricity?
And stop using candles to see at night.
It's just electricity lights up the room fast. It's more reliable than candles blowing out, and people seem to love it nationwide.
Well, candles are...
Dear, did you just run into the wall?
Nope. May I have a new candle, please?
Historically, switching to new technology is a no-brainer. Today, it's AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure, and nationwide. Switch to AT&T 5G. It's not complicated. 5G requires compatible plan. May not be in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back, Nate Newton, no Kurt, in Jesse's bedroom with no Jesse. But we are back. And adjust your cleats, adjust your pads, even adjust your helmet. But seriously, don't adjust your underwear because once it's seen, it cannot be unseen. Tommy John's fabrics keep you cool and dry on the field or in the stands. And now they even have loungewear. Yes, sir, loungewear. Shop underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys for 15% off your first order. It is muted, sir. TommyJohn.com/Cowboys. All right. Let's get back into it. Jesse, welcome back. Jesse made it just in time. Question for you guys. Coach McCarthy has had success in the last game of the season. He's 49. These are stats courtesy of Kurt. He is 49-12 in December. January, he is 9-3 in the final game. And 3-1 with the division on the line, and 1-0 when needing to make the playoffs as a wild card. Kurt wants to know, does any of that matter because he's with a new team, or is that experience worth anything?
Winning experience is always, always, always good. Anytime you have positive experiences, even when you have the negative ones, if you're the right kind of person, there's always a lesson in a loss, but there's also plenty more lessons in winning. So if he has a successful November, December, January playoffs, first round, second round, whatever it is, that's huge, especially for a team who you're trying to find every little angle to build on, trying to find every little corner to say, here's what we have an advantage. You can never have enough experience in this league. Every single moment that you can take and garner those moments and use them in a positive manner is a good thing. It's kind of like almost that old saying is, it's better to have and not need than need and not have. Mm-hmm. I'd much rather have the experience to be able to pull from in any situation opposed to being in a situation and now having to kind of blindly find my way and figure my way through this thing. This is a maze that we're going into as far as the last game of the season and deep into the playoffs and so on and so forth. So if I have a guy who's been through the maze, if I have a guy who has a little bit of experience, if I have a guy or guys who have navigated their way through, that's always going to be a positive. And so because he has it, and this team is looking for those experiences, then most definitely it's a good thing.
Nate?
I agree 100%. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Coach Madden says the same thing. Coach John Madden used to tell us, man, give me the bad loss, give me the bad win, and you can have all the great,
good losses.
Great losses.
You always hear coaches talk about
the moral, yeah.
The moral victories. You always hear coaches talking about they want to be playing their best ball at the end of the season, and Coach McCarthy has said he structured the program to make that happen. What does that mean? Does that mean that they've ramped up practices? Does that mean they're creating new game plans? Does that mean he's coaching in a different manner? What does he mean by that? That he set them up to play their best at the end of the season?
Yeah, I don't quite know what that means. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like that one is a tad bit puzzling to me, because for a coach, you're definitely not ramping the practice up at this time of year. If anything, you're ramping the practices down. You're trying to get guys fresher. You're trying to get guys more energized. You're trying to get guys more healthy at this point in time of the season. And for as long as Coach McCarthy has been in this league, you want your players to be clicking at this point in time. You want there to be a rhythm at this point in time. You want there to be that synchronization at this point in time. You want that kind of momentum. But I don't understand how you want to say, well, the way that I design my plan is that we're going to play our best football at the end of the year. So you're telling me at the beginning of the year you put in the design and not play so good? Because if that's the case, you did a hell of a job. Like if that's the case, that you designed it that way, you did a hell of a job at this team not playing well at the beginning of the year to play well at the end of the year. I want my team playing well from start to finish. I want to try to figure out a way to get my team clicking on all cylinders as early as possible, as long as possible. The NFL season is a war of attrition. It's the guys who can stay the healthiest the longest, who can have the most energy, who can have the most synchronization, who can be playing well from the start to the finish. It always sounds good when you're saying, well, this team is starting to play well in December. Like, no one designs their team to say, you play like cow dung September and October, but we're going to work this thing out where you're playing well in November and December.
Do you say cow?
I've never been a
cow dung or cow dong? With a U or an O?
Stop, Shannon. Stop, Shannon. He was going good.
The boo-boo from the cow's butt, whatever you want to call it, okay?
Okay.
You just see now I done messed my point up. Go ahead, Nate.
Jesse,
I was on you,
but
man.
Jesse,
I was with you. I was riding.
You know
with
what?
You,
I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with you today. You were trying to talk this team into a loss. You first told them they a bad team playing another bad team. Now you tell them their coach had them designed to play bad football at the beginning of the season just so they could ramp up at the end of the season. I don't like you today. I don't like this today.
I'm answering your question. Your question was that Coach McCarthy said he designed a plan that his team will be playing well at this point in time of the season. I don't know how you do that. I've never been around anyone that says, well, again, if you say that we're going to play poor at the beginning of the year and great at the end of the year, well, congratulations. You've done a hell of a job, Coach McCarthy, because that's exactly what you've done. Your game plan has worked to perfection. I just don't understand that premise or that method of the way that you designed and pose the question.
All you journalists out there that'll be on the Coach McCarthy interview, ask him what that meant so we know. Say, how did you design this program to be ready to play? So we can know, because we don't know.
That's coach speak.
Is it?
All that is just a coach talking. That's coach speak. That's just part of they
just saying we're ready to go. Man. Just say we sucked at the beginning of the year, but now we're ready. We're playing ball.
And believe me, Jesse ain't the only one that just rode that train he just rode. There's a lot of people out there saying, what do you mean you meant it for it to be this way? There's a lot of guys out there, not maybe locally. Jesse probably was the smartest out of all the locals, but I tell you like Zahir, man, when I look at this team, I see the same thing you guys see, a team that's struggling, but a team that's got some momentum, and they still have to play good, solid football to win games. And like I say, they're not that top 8 guys in the league, which 6 of them in the AFC and 2 of them in the NFC. They're just not those teams. So they have to play kind of perfect football, if you will.
All right, that's a great point, because we all know this is not a great team. This is probably not even a good team. I think they have to prove themselves.
No, they're a good team.
You think they're good? Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll give them a good team.
They're a good team.
They're an average team.
Average team.
No,
okay.
No. They are a good team. They are a good team. They are beating the teams they have just beat. Them right there, that right there is garbage. They are a good team.
Well,
because you know, Jesse, like I know, good teams beat these teams that they're beating.
Teams are supposed to beat.
What the good teams can't do is say a Tampa Bay, who's a little bit above that. That's going to be a different story.
Okay.
But they are a good team.
All right, let's say they're a good team.
Because and the reason I say they're a good team, they have the ability offensively to be dominant. They have the ability, matched up with the right people, they have the ability to be dominant.
Even with Andy Dalton.
On defense, it ain't happening.
Even with Andy Dalton?
On defense, it just ain't happening.
So that's what I'm saying. If you take dominant and trash, that makes average. That makes average.
That's what I'm saying. A good team. That's a good NFL team.
That doesn't make good. That makes average.
Out of 32 teams, that makes you 16 teams, and that's
average. That's good.
That's good.
Okay.
I'm not going to argue with you.
Okay.
Shannon, go.
Okay. Good or
turn
average?
Off his mic. Thank you.
Good.
Turn off his mic.
Good. We went from
average teams are good. That's what I'm trying to say, Shannon. Average teams are good.
We went from
below average is not good.
We went from telling Jesse we needed more
every year,
and we needed him to talk more.
Every year I gotta have
to Nate telling Chris to turn his mic off halfway through the show.
Turn his mic off.
Stop. No, let me get to my point. Okay, average or good, either one. Let's just say either one. Let's say they get in Sunday. They're in. They're probably, I don't know if it's solidified yet or not, but I've heard Tampa Bay. They're playing Tampa Bay. Tom Brady would travel here. Do you give this? I mean, this team's got a puncher's chance, right? Because of the offense, you could at any point put up 40 or 50 points. Now, your defense is going to give up darn near that many against the Tom Brady-led offense, but you got a puncher's chance, right? You could beat a good or a really good team, right?
Let me say this right.
Say it.
Let me say this right. Let me say
I'm just looking for some hope. I'm looking for some hope.
Let me say it. For as good as I think our wide receivers are, I think they're a top 5 wide receiver group.
Mm-hmm.
Messing around with Tom Brady and them 3 animals they got over there, you might well call the dog pound, dog. It's over. They're going to be running wild and crazy like a pack of wild animals. And then we'll find out if they average or good, Jesse.
So, is that the speech you're going to take it to the locker room for motivation? Way to go, Nathaniel.
I mean,
that's the speech you take into the locker room.
You know what? He
He
started off standing on one side of the fence. He climbed on top of the fence, and then he just fell right onto the other side of the fence, all within about 15 minutes.
Dumpty. Right over the other side.
So
of the
Nate,
Jesse, the next thing I knew I was in West Monroe.
Nate,
I was in Shreveport down in West Monroe.
So Nate, you're not giving them any chance once they get in.
What? That's why I say they're a good team. When you got something that's dominant, the Cowboys have a dominant offense. But they don't have a dominant defense.
That's what makes them average.
And then
good, Jesse.
When Tom Brady come in here, Tom Brady, third receiver, can be a number 1. Tom Brady's third receiver can be a number 1. Antonio Brown. Bro, and I'm a Tom Brady fan. So, everybody hate on Tom Brady, but I love winners. I love winners. I'm just a Tom Brady fan.
So Nate's got Cowboys getting in.
And I'm not going in the locker room with this speech because they may not even come out. The players may not even come out if I finish with it. I would just say, man, hold on to your underwear, bro. That's all I would say. Hold on to your underwear because he'll snatch them off if he ain't out.
All right, let's take our last break. Let's see if we can end on a positive note because Nate just sucked it all out of me. Between Jesse and Nate, I don't even know why I showed up today.
He did what?
We're going to break. We'll be back. Hanging with the boys.
No, I did not do that.
Hanging with the boys.
Stop.
Going to break right now.
Jesse,
go to break.
You guys are wilding in 2020,
break
man.
Now. Break. Chris.
Just like all of you, we at SeatGeek can't wait until we're back in the stands at full strength cheering on the Cowboys and singing along to our favorite songs again. We're using this time to make discovering, buying, and selling tickets to events in Dallas easier. Plus, every ticket purchased on SeatGeek is protected by our buyer guarantee, which means you'll get your money back or better if your event is canceled. Guaranteed. Download the SeatGeek app today, and when the time is right, let's go. SeatGeek.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com. Proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Grab some OtterBox gear and get ready for Hanging with the Boys. From rugged venture coolers to tough as nails elevation tumblers, we've got what you need to keep your game day drinks frosty and your football feast ice cold. And with cases, screen protectors, and power accessories, you can defend your phone and stay connected to every play. Gear up at OtterBox.com and amp up the fun of every Cowboys game. That's OtterBox.com.
Dear, it's 1908. Don't you think we should get electricity?
And stop using candles to see at night.
It's just electricity lights up the room fast. It's more reliable than candles blowing out, and people seem to love it nationwide.
Well, candles are...
Dear, did you just run into the wall?
Nope. May I have a new candle, please?
Historically, switching to new technology is a no-brainer. Today, it's AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure, and nationwide. Switch to AT&T 5G. It's not complicated. 5G requires compatible plan. May not be in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to this beautiful view of our Tostitos Plaza at Ford Center weather cam here in Frisco, Texas. You are looking live at the dreary weather here in Frisco. The Armed Forces Bowl playing at the Plaza, Tulsa versus Mississippi State going on right now. And if you're craving AT&T Stadium's famous Cowboys cheesesteak, nachos, or Cowboy Burrito when you're watching the Cowboys game at home, you can bring your favorite stadium food to you. Place your order online for pickup at AT&T Stadium every week this season, which would be this week, maybe next. Check out the menu at att.com/at-home. All right. Now that you guys have sucked all the... Never mind. I have no hope left. Let me rephrase that. I have no hope left if they do get in on Sunday. Oh. So one thing I can't...
When they get in.
One thing I can't believe there hasn't been a bigger deal made about, maybe there is, I just haven't been keeping up with it, is this is Jason Garrett's Super Bowl, right? I mean, he wants to stick it. I know he loves the Joneses and he loves the Cowboys, but you don't get to the level he's at as a coach. You don't play in the National Football League as a quarterback. You don't play quarterback at Princeton unless you are uber competitive. So he wants to win this game. He wants to, as an offensive coordinator, put up 60 points on the Cowboys and put this in Jerry's face and say, I told you so. This wasn't all me. Does that matter at all to players? Do they even care, or is this something that we just want to have a fun storyline and something going into the game? Or they're players that are like, we ain't letting Coach Garrett beat us. Like, we got to stick it to him. What's that like?
I'll say this. I'll say if you have a fingernail worth of competitive anything in your soul, as a guy who's gotten fired from another job, and I have an opportunity to send you home,
yes,
the new coach of the organization that just fired me to send you home, I am pumped about this if I'm Jason Garrett. Now, we know that he'll get in front of the media. He'll say, it's just another game.
All the right things.
Whether it's the Cowboys or the Broncos or whoever, we'll be ready to play in the parking lot, in the Wendy's, in the whatever. But we know if you got a thumbnail worth of competitiveness in you, he wants to knock out the Cowboys. Now, I would say it's more on the players on his side that are saying,
do it for him.
You know, because there's always a group of guys, like each coach, and they tell me if I'm wrong. I think whether it's your position coach, whether it's your, and I'll say for me, when I played for Coach Ray Sherman and when I played for special teams coach Joe D. Camillus, there was a relationship there, right? They especially Coach Joe D. I know that Joe D. really put his neck on the line and stood on the table for me, to make me active, to make sure I'm on the roster, to make sure I was done right. So there was this extra motivation for me that every time I got an opportunity to do something on special teams, I wanted to make sure that he was right. I wanted to make sure that when he walked back into the meeting room, that he could sit in his chair and go, I told you guys. Look at Holly. I told you guys he was ready. I told you guys he could do it. Opposed to sitting there and they're looking at him like, this is the guy that you wanted to put your career on. This is the guy that you stood on the table for. This is the guy that you used up your, you know what I'm saying? You use up your momentum for. This is the guy. So in every group, in every team, coaches have a couple of those guys who are like, that's my guy, that's my coach. So I'm going to make sure that I do everything that I humanly possibly can to make sure he's right, or that he's on the winning side of whatever that competition thing is. So for Coach Garrett, there may be some guys in that locker room that he's bonded with over his time as like, Coach, you know what, man, we really want to get this win for us, but we really want to make sure we get this win for you as well. You know, so you got a couple guys like that. It's more so on the other side of the offensive side than it is for the opposing team trying to say, well, we don't want to let Coach Garrett win.
I promise you this. If they score like 28 points and beat us, I bet we all know who's going to get the game ball.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. Facts. We'll see that on the NFL Network. Jason getting the game. I want you, Coach Judge, say, we want to present this to Coach Garrett for calling a hell of a game.
Facts.
So that's how that go.
The weather forecast for Sunday, I'm looking it up right now, is supposed to be a high of 41, a low of 37, 80% chance of rain, and windy.
The wind
there is.
Are we practicing out? Today's a perfect day. Are we practicing outside today?
I don't know. It's a great
Cowboys.
question.
But see, due to that being pandemic, they may be a little bit nervous. Everybody ain't been Coach Belichick or Jimmy Johnson. You know, they may be a little bit nervous, you know, due to this pandemic. But yeah, we will be outside, man.
Who does
Coach Johnson have us outside?
Who does bad weather benefit more, offense or defense? Or is there a certain position group that it benefits more?
I think it benefits defense more. I do, especially, and to me, it's a two-part to this. I think defense, and I think what team is playing where. For the Cowboys, they don't play. They practice indoors. They play indoors. Mm-hmm. The Giants are literally live in the climate. So they live in the cold, in the rain, in the wind. Like every single day of their lives, they live in that climate. And they play outside, so I'm sure they'll practice some outside as well. So for this situation, it's going to benefit the Giants. They're at home. They know how that stadium, the wind swirls in that stadium. They practice in it every day. So they have a little bit of advantage because, Coach Garrett knows when certain passes he can throw because of how the wind is blowing and all that kind of crazy stuff. You worry about the footing sometimes, but because they're on turf and not natural grass, that's going to be what it is. It's going to drain out, so you don't have to worry about like too much slippage. But I think in this situation, it benefits the defense because you have to be extra precise when you're dealing with wind and rain and stuff like that, because the ball can sometimes, it'll hit the wind pocket and jump on you. It'll be, you throw a deep pass and it had some velocity, but the wind caught it and made it sail a little bit more, gives the defender time to come over there and to tip it off or knock it down or intercept it. Also, we haven't had all the best short-handed people on our team offensively. So the ball fumbling, guys are hitting at the ball, tip pass, all that kind of stuff. To me, it favors the defense in the situation where that home team is playing in the climate that it's more conducive to.
I'm not going to argue about that, but New York was always a difficult place to play. Even though I think it's a new stadium now, it's difficult to play up there, man. The wind, how things go.
The wind is different in the north when it's cold. When you get into Chicago and New York and New Jersey and Pennsylvania, the wind is different than it is in the south.
Yes, it is.
It
man.
bites
it's
you.
biting.
Yes,
that wind biting. Yeah.
Well, all those teams that you named are located near what?
Water.
A body of water.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
You got, and that's a different kind of cold.
It is.
When you have naturally cold places, and then you add a body of water, it's something about when that wind comes off that water, that cold comes off that water. It's bone chilling. It's bone chilling.
Does it hurt in a football game when it's cold?
You got to be ready to do it.
Like I know it hurts you.
Yes.
As a normal person, but do you feel the hits?
I don't care what anybody. Yes. Yes.
I asked Mark Stepnoski, man. He played at Pitt, and I said, Step. You know, he was out there in his short sleeves and everything. I said, Step. I said, man, we finna go up here. It's going to be cold. I said, are you used to that? He said, Nate, I'm a human being. When it's cold and the wind is biting, it's cold, bro. You just got to go make up your mind to go out there and play in it. And I said, I just can't do it, Step. I just can't do it.
All right,
I'm the fattest guy on the team. He can't do it.
Let's get before we get in our predictions. Is there a question you would like me to ask Dalton Schultz today? Anything that you want me to throw at him? Okay, good. What are your predictions for the game?
Yeah, I do. I want to know. I want to know.
I'm writing this down.
First question to the Jinx.
No, I'm not jinxing. I want to know. Never mind, because I'm petty. I'm not going to do it.
Do it.
I got a petty question.
Don't do it.
Okay, I won't do it
because I want to know about job status. Like, are you coming in next year?
Is this your job now?
This your job now? Are you saying this? Are you saying I'm the captain now?
That's a good question because him and Blake are boys. They're really good friends. I'll ask him about that dynamic. Like with you having a good year, what's that? Are you guys encouraging each other? Is it like, hey, Blake, you got to come get this back, man? Like I balled out. Come get it. That's a great question. I'm gonna ask that. Okay, that's not petty.
All
I think that's a great question. I'm gonna save that for the end because I don't want him to be pissed off the whole interview. So I'll do the fun stuff in the beginning and ask him that at the end. What do y'all think is going to happen this weekend between? Let's do both games: Cowboys, Giants, and Washington Eagles. Jesse, you go first.
Why do I have to go
I'll go first. I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead,
Nate.
Washington.
Proud of you.
I don't care what you do and how you do it. As long as you have 1 point less than the Philadelphia Eagles at the end of the game, I will continue to admire you and Daniel Snyder, and I think y'all run a great operation for losing that game. Thank you.
Okay.
For the Dallas Cowboys, I don't care what you do.
Score 1 point.
Just have one more point than the Jason Garrett fighting hens, and I'll be happy for you.
Oh, good old Nate. I'll tell you what, I'm going back and forth on the second game. I think the Cowboys, they actually win. I think they win by 3 scores, and that could be 9 points. But I think they win by 3 scores. I think they're going to have a double-digit win. I think their offense is that much better than the Giants' defense, than the Giants' offense is better than our defense, if that even makes any sense. But I think they win by double digits. And then I think it's going to be an ugly, ugly game against Washington. But I think Jalen Hurts is trying. I like that kid. I like what he did against us. I think he's going to be really good in this league in the future. I think he needs to prove himself. I think he's playing.
He's not a fumbler.
And yes, I think it's going to be an ugly game. That defensive line is going to test him. It's going to be a really dirty, close game, but I think Philadelphia is going to squeak it out, and your Dallas Cowboys are going to roll into the playoffs on a 4-game win streak. Welcome Tom Brady to town, and I am going to laugh my ass off whenever they beat them next Sunday at AT&T Stadium when you guys did not give them a chance. Not even you, Nate, the biggest Cowboy homer I know, didn't even give them a puncher's chance, and they are going to win a playoff game the first year under the Mike McCarthy era. There you go.
Mr. Shannon.
You take it one season.
Go ahead on, Jesse. I'm ignoring the short guy.
That's all the time that we have, fellas. Good show, man. See you guys in
Jesse,
2021.
you can't do this. Go. You got to go.
No, I think it's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be a really good game, Giants and Cowboys. I really do think it's going to be a really, really, really good game. I do think the Cowboys win that football game. I do. And I think they get on the plane and they come back.
Even though they're average, they're going to win it.
Here comes
they're average.
Here comes the hammer.
Average teams should beat
because they're good.
Average teams should beat below average teams.
Jesse about to lower the hammer.
Go figure.
Average team beat good team beat average team. Go ahead on, Jesse.
But I just have a feeling that you get Alex Smith back. He's had some time to rest.
That's what I'm worried about.
And they put together a masterful plan, and that defense takes over for Washington. I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to hasn't seen anything. He saw a little bit from the Saints, but I don't think he's seen a defensive front like he's getting ready to walk into with the Washington football team. And he has the propensity to turn the ball over because he's back there using his athleticism, and he's going to realize, oh my goodness, Chase Young is 2 times bigger than me and as athletic as I am.
You going to have that Ben DiNucci moment?
Yeah. and that's a part of learning. That's a part of his maturation period that he'll have. But I do think the Washington football team will beat Philadelphia, and it'll end like that for us. I think we'll give ourselves a chance in the daytime, and it'll be an interesting game at night. But I think Alex Smith, his steady Eddie approach will be enough to give that defense a chance to win football games for them. And we go out like that.
And we're going to go out.
Picking the Cowboys.
Hell to the
and we're going to go out like this. Chris, I apologize for running a little bit over, but this is really important. 2020 is on the way out. 2021 will be here. This will be the last time we talk to the fans and talk to each other before next season. What is in a terrible year for a lot of people, a lot of negative and bad things happen to a lot of people, but there were some good things that happened this year. What is one good thing that you are grateful for, or that you can be thankful for, that happened this year? Me, obviously, the best thing that happened to me was getting married and having a wonderful, healthy baby boy, and being able to enjoy him, and actually getting to work from home and spend these first few months of his life working from home and spending that time that I normally during a football season would have been gone 95% of his life during this time. So that to me is by far the best thing that happened to me this year. Jesse, what's something good that happened to you this year?
I think health. For me, I've been extremely healthy, and I'm blessed to have this platform because we grew this year, right? Shannon and I and Nate and Kurt and Chris, we had conversations over the protests all summer long. I helped you grow. You helped me grow. I've been healthy. I've had a job. And I'm thankful for this platform because despite whatever is going on, people can tune into us 5 days a week most of the times for 45 minutes and get away. And get away from whatever it is that they're going through, man. And we're so blessed to be in the position that we're in, that we a lot of times financially didn't miss a beat. We didn't miss a beat. We maintained our jobs, and might have had a pretty good financial year, but we have a platform where we gave people to get away for 45 minutes 5 days a week, where they didn't have to worry about if they were unemployed, if they were dealing with COVID, if they had someone in their family that was dealing with COVID, lost a loved one, dealing with the I Can't Breathe movement, all these different things that we went through all throughout the year. 45 minutes a day, we get a chance to make people's day, and whether it's one person or 100,000 people, this platform gives us an opportunity to do so. And I'm thankful that I was chosen to be a part of a great team with you guys to do that.
Well said, Jesse.
Hey, just to keep it short, man, just the world. I'm happy that the world is surviving. And I mean that because y'all know I'm a guy that wakes up every day excited about life and everything in it. So I accept the challenges that are before me and the adventurous things that happen in my life every day. I thank God for y'all in the world and my family. Thank you.
Well said. And this show, I love this show. I'm going to hate when we go to once a week because it brightens my day. I know a lot of people probably think this is just kind of our own air personalities, but I really enjoy hanging out with you guys. You guys are friends. I consider you guys families. You guys are my brothers. Kurt, I hate that you weren't here. You know, Chris is part of the family. Like, we're family. Like, and you know, I know when this show is gone and not on the air anymore, we'll still be in touch and we'll still hang out and do things together. So I appreciate the friendship and the fellowship that we're able to do every day, like Jesse said. So that's it. 2020, goodbye, good riddance. 2021, we will see you Victory Monday. We will be back after this Cowboys victory, marching into the playoffs. We
are a good
Bring
team.
on Tom Brady. We'll be back
best,
Monday,
baby. Same
time, same place, hanging with the boys.
You fake, Shannon. That's fake news. That's Tom Brady deal. That's fake news. Believe me, he's not feeling that.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.